it's Miss Curry, and we are round one of Tournament of Books, and we have Cassie and Anna, two sophomores here at River Hill, and they were part of the judging team that did Louise O'Neill's Asking for It versus Kaitlyn Greenidge's We Love You, Charlie Freeman. So why don't one of you tell us about Asking for It, and then one of you tell us about Charlie Freeman, and then we'll talk about which one moved on and why.
In Asking for It, there's a girl, Emma. She's like this pretty, like perfect girl, and she goes to a party and she like gets like totally trashed, and like she ends up waking up on her front porch and she doesn't remember anything, but there's all these pictures and videos of how she's like raped and like completely used.
So the next day she sees on social media that this is what happened at that party. I can't remember.
And she doesn't remember anything from it.
Okay.
And she doesn't know anything about like the laws about sexual consent or anything like that to be able to defend herself, because she didn't give them consent to, but then to make it seem like it was a cool thing she said she gave them consent to, which just put her in a whole downward spiral. And the rest of the book is just following her as she's struggling with like school and social life and things like that.
Right. So like how she's dealing because she doesn't want to be a victim.
Yeah.
But so she's pretending that she gave
victim.
consent. She's not a victim when really she was completely victimized because she was like practically unconscious the whole time and remembers nothing.
She doesn't know any of it, but she doesn't want to be in that victim state of like I'm so helpless.
That people did this to me. And how embarrassing that everybody, not only did this happen to her, but it's not private, it's something that's very public now. And having it go through high school with people talking about her and talking about that is difficult. So this is a dark book. I thought this was a tough book to read, especially, with rape culture, and it dealt with a lot of things and why rape culture seems to be perpetuating, and how both girls and young men support that, despite the fact that we know better.
So We Love You, Charlie Freeman, it's got a lot more themes in it. It's about this family, they're African American. They go to the Honeybee Institute where they're set to live with a chimpanzee and teach him sign language. And they're basically treating him just like a baby as opposed to part of their own family. But the two daughters have trouble like adjusting institute, coping with it. The mom's like all into it, and the dad's very like conservative about it. They don't know how to feel about like taking care of a chimpanzee, being part of this experiment. There's so many themes. There's racism, there's animal culture, animal rights, there's even a little bit of like homosexuality in there too, and it just addresses so many different things that needs to be talked about in a creative way. Like this is a pretty new plot line.
They're living with a monkey, and these African American families in this completely like white neighborhood, and they have to deal with all of that,
and then they have this whole monkey issue as well on top of that.
They're African American and everybody else is not, and they're living with a monkey and nobody else is. And it's like and it's all new for them too. So.
Right, and then like how it affects the kids, because the parents made this decision, but yet their children are the ones that are growing up in this odd environment and having to deal with that.
And there's a subplot line back in the 1920s or 1930s in the early, there's somewhere in like western Massachusetts, and how that was a predominantly African American town, and it was a predominantly white town also, but they were just separated. And they talked about the plot line of a woman named Fedora too going to the Honeybee Institute, sort of being taken advantage of, and like how the Honeybee Institute didn't used to always study monkeys. I don't want to give too much away. Okay. But
like how the institute was not like they didn't always do like good studies. Like they were like kind of
so there's like this
sketchy,
dark sort of force behind
like
this project.
Like what's going on here?
All right, so why did the team decide to move Charlie Freeman onto the next?
I think it was the number of themes in Charlie Freeman that needed to be addressed, and how the characters are much more relatable in Charlie Freeman. Like Asking for It, you're just following the one girl throughout the whole story, and she's not that likable. I don't know if that's intentional. Louise O'Neill didn't want to make her that likable, but I think We Love You, Charlie Freeman, they had more relatable characters. They had the different plot lines and points of view, and it was all over like a more complicated book than Asking for It
Well,
was.
it was more creative, like the fact that they threw in like living with a monkey and like, it not like generic, but it's like the Asking for It was more like a straightforward like theme of this is what happened, and this is how you follow her. And, like,
Okay.
the other one was more like complex, and it was
So there was more to like sink your teeth into, and it
Yeah.
was a crunchier book with.
And, I mean,
great
they're
stuff
both
going on.
issues that need to be addressed. They both had really hard endings to deal with,
Mhm.
but I think in the end, this one was, I would say, the better book.
Okay, great. Okay, so moving on to round 2 is We Love You, Charlie Freeman by Kaitlyn Greenidge. Thank you, ladies.